Hi everyone and welcome back to my channel. I'm very happy to have you here, guys. So today we will be trying out some fragrances from the house of Armaf. Armaf is a brand under Sterling Perfumes, if I'm not mistaken, and basically they're specialized in, let's call them dupes or inspired by fragrances. They have a lot of inspired by fragrances from the design and fragrance world. So yes, today I have 8 fragrances here, some for men, some for women. I want to share my thoughts on them, and overall I want to let you know what I think about them, if I overall think they're worth it or not. By the way, if you've tried any of the fragrances that I want to show you today, please share your thoughts about the fragrances down below, guys. I'm sure the people who are interested in buying these fragrances will appreciate your feedback on the scent, even though it's a positive feedback or negative feedback. It's your feedback, it's your experience with the fragrance. So please, I would really appreciate if you could share your thoughts about them down below. I will go in a very random order. I will mix the one for men and the one for women. Nothing is planned today, but basically those that I know what they dupe, I will mention it. Those that I don't mention anything that they dupe, it means because I don't know if they dupe anything or not. So let's start with the fragrance. I think one of the most popular fragrances from the brand. This is a fragrance that I remember a few years ago it got a lot of hype on YouTube. This is a fragrance that's supposed to dupe Creed's Aventus. Now I have not tried that fragrance, so I can only share my thoughts about this fragrance on its own and in comparison to another fragrance from Lattafa that it's supposed to be like an Aventus dupe as well. The fragrance is called Dur Al Maknoon. This one, somewhere over here. So yes. Yeah, see, okay, right from the start, guys, this cannot even compare to the fragrance from Lattafa. This is much more expensive smelling, much better done, smells much more luxurious, it's way smoother. The one from Lattafa, honestly, in my opinion, keep in mind it's a fail. That one smelled like it was unfinished. It smelled like there were some notes that were missing to pull all the other notes together, but this one, on the other hand, different story, like completely different story. So now, how does this one smell? Okay, so to describe it in a very simplistic way, this is mainly a citrusy leather fragrance. The opening, you have here a burst of citruses, but like more lemony, bergamot sort of citruses, not the sweet ones, you know, more the refreshing ones. You have a burst of refreshing citruses. You have something that's like sparkling almost, and slightly cooling. So you have this, like I said, citrusy, sparkling, cooling effect in the opening. This is the main one that I get to my nose. In the background, I can detect a little bit of the leather at this point, but as you are wearing this fragrance, the leather gets more and more dominant, more and more nuanced. The leather here, I would say, it's a smoked leather, so it has this softest, slightest smoked hint to it, which I think makes it very unique. Like I said, I cannot compare it to the OG one, the one that dupes, but this one on its own, I have to say it's a very clever blend, because you have the leather that's smoked, but you also have some citruses that balance the leatheriness of the scent, you know. So it's a very balanced fragrance. Doesn't pull too leathery, too funky, you know, because sometimes leather can have a very interesting funk in a scent, you know. But I feel like this is because the citrusy part balances it. As you are wearing this fragrance, the refreshing citrusy aspect is still remains there. I would say the sparkling, cooling aspect slowly fades away, and the leather basically it's getting more and more strong, and you actually start to smell a like dry smoked leather accord, which I think is beautifully done. It doesn't have any skank to it, but you need to appreciate leather to appreciate this fragrance, because this is all about leather and citruses. Now, because of this, I feel like this is more of a masculine fragrance than a feminine fragrance, but honestly, guys, I love how this fragrance smells. I think this could easily be your all year round, even signature scent. Why not? You could wear this one even in the summer, because like I said, because you have this very pronounced citrusy touch, the leather is balanced here. It's not too much, you know. I think this is quite an ageless fragrance. I mean, let's just say once you're above 20, I feel like you could wear it, especially if you're like into fragrances, you know, when you look at fragrances as like something more than just smelling good. I feel like you would appreciate this one. Yeah, see, it's really nice. It's like refreshing, slightly fresh, but more of a green sort of fresh, not a blue aquatic like freshness. You have some greenness in the background from the citruses. Maybe you have here a dash of patchouli or something green in the background. Now this one in the last parts of the dry down, this one reminds me quite a bit of a fragrance from Lattafa, but it reminds me of the opening of the fragrance from Lattafa and the heart of the fragrance from Lattafa. The fragrance, by the way, it's called Qaid Al Fursan. So I've shared my thoughts about it in this video, but it only reminds me a little bit of the fragrance. You know, they're not like spot on, let's just say similar, you know, only a little bit. So yes, what I think about this fragrance, honestly, I think it smells amazing. I think this one on a man is a very sexy fragrance. It's a very powerful fragrance, but at the same time it's effortless somehow, you know, like, yes, it's powerful but effortless. I feel like this is the key that describes this fragrance: a powerful but effortless but very statement-like citrusy leather fragrance. This is it. Like I said, I do really like it. I think honestly, I would love to smell this one on a man. I think this is a very sexy fragrance, but at the same time, this is a very versatile fragrance. I think this is the sort of fragrance that let's just say you could wear it when you go out with your friends, you could wear it clubbing, you could wear it at a date night, you can wear it at the dates, I don't know, like shopping even, on holiday even, I don't know. Basically, you could wear this one all year round and to a lot of different occasions. This is actually a fragrance that I would say, if you're looking for a citrusy leather fragrance that you could wear it all year round, that's very sexy, perhaps a compliment getter, I would say check out. Feel free to check out this one, and the performance is there. Now, I cannot tell you exactly like how many hours does it stay on your skin, but I would say about 4 hours on the skin. Okay, so let's move on to a fragrance for women this time. This one is called All You Need Is Love, and this one is supposed to be a dupe or a clone or an inspiration of Coco Mademoiselle by Chanel. Now, I don't have that fragrance in my collection, but I'm very aware with how the fragrance smells, because it used to be the signature scent of someone very close to me, so I got a lot of chances to smell that fragrance. Personally, I mean, I like how it smells, but personally to me it used to give me headaches when I tried it a few times on myself. But on other people, in moderation, I don't mind it. But it's not, let's just say, it's not a DNA that I like gravitate towards, you know? Yeah, see, it's like Coco Mademoiselle, but more. Less citrusy, slightly more warm, and slightly more, let's just say, easy to wear. And sweeter as well. Coco Mademoiselle, I feel like it's a little bit serious. This one is a bit more like fun, you know, like it still has that elegant, classy vibe, but it's a bit more fun, you know. It's not as serious as the other one. Yeah, it's slightly sweet, fruity, slightly citrusy, and you have some like white florals and a patchouli in the background on the softest woody base. This, I would say, it's way more easy to enjoy than Coco Mademoiselle. It's way more easier to wear as well. I feel like it's not as strong, you know. It's not, I mean, Coco Mademoiselle was a very powerful fragrance. Like, I remember when my friend used to wear it, she used to do like 2-3 sprays of it and used to like basically throughout the entire time we were together, I could smell her fragrance constantly, you know, constantly. Now this one is a little bit more muted, a little bit softer, more playful even, a little bit more sweeter, but it still has that Coco Mademoiselle DNA. So I would say, as a baseline, if you are looking for something that's very affordable and it's in the same scent family, you will enjoy this one. For sure, I think there's not much to not enjoy about this fragrance, honestly. If you're looking for a spot-on dupe of Coco Mademoiselle, I don't know if this one is the spot-on dupe. I feel like this one, like I said, is slightly sweeter, more fun overall, you know, slightly more fun, slightly more playful, less heavy on patchouli, on those patchouli woody accords, you know. It's very easy to wear, it's feminine, smells great, doesn't have anything weird going on, the bottle is nice. Oh my god, something, now yes, I remember. Something that I wanted to mention about Armaf as a brand in general, like, guys, their bottles are like trash, honestly, like, and I don't know, I genuinely do not understand what they're doing with their bottles, because they're like horrible, like, honestly. Besides one, I've had bottle issues with all of them, like legit all of them. And not bottle issues in the sense that, oh, they're plasticky, they look cheap, you know, they feel cheap. No, bottle issues in the sense that, like, you couldn't use the fragrance sort of bottle issues, you know. So keep this in mind if you want to buy Armaf fragrances. But besides that, their actual fragrance inside the bottle, it's actually really nice. Sometimes a little bit more artificial, but usually it opens up and then it's like, you know, amazing, especially for the price. So yes, this fragrance, it's the most similar to Coco Mademoiselle in the opening. I feel like as this one is developing on my skin, I start to lose some of the woody base, some of the patchouli woody base that was so memorable for Coco Mademoiselle, and it starts to get lighter, brighter, denser, warmer, sweeter, fruitier, slightly more heavier on white florals as well. But overall, as a baseline. If you enjoy Coco Mademoiselle, you will enjoy this one. If you don't enjoy Coco Mademoiselle, honestly, I don't know if you would enjoy this one, because the first thing it reminded me of when I smelled it, it was Coco Mademoiselle. So they're definitely within the same scent family, you know. So yes, let's move on to the next one. Okay, so this next fragrance is from men. It's called Bois Nuit, and this one is supposed to dupe, or let's just say be an inspiration of 1 Million by Paco Rabanne, if I'm not mistaken. And honestly, right when I smell it, it will definitely remind you of that one, but not the Privé one, or how is the other one called? Basically, there's one where there's another one that's like a darker shade of brown, and it has some like apple cinnamon vibes. Not that one, the other one. I think the OG 1 Million. Basically, this one, guys, you know. Okay, so the opening of this fragrance is very sharp, very artificial, quite bothering, if I'm being very honest. So do give this one a few seconds, few minutes till it starts to open up a little bit. Now, as for the similarity with the 1 Million by Paco Rabanne, definitely is within the same scent family, 100%. This one is not my favorite fragrance, but simply because, like, I personally do not enjoy this DNA. I feel like this one was this DNA was a little bit overused by a lot of men a few years ago, and yes, but those are like my personal thoughts in regards to this fragrance. I can't really stand it, but besides that, I mean, if you're looking for a dupe of 1 Million, yes, it's a dupe of 1 Million. Yes, it's very interesting, slightly fresh, slightly sweet, like fresh, sweet, slightly soapy in the background. Slightly spicy, woody as well, so I do get, but like, how to say, all this, but like very artificial, you know. This one compared to 1 Million is definitely much more synthetic, much more artificial, much more, let's just say, you can tell that this is an affordable fragrance, you know. I don't think it smells, let's say, as expensive as the first one that I've tried here, Club de Nuit Intense, you know. That one it truly smells expensive. This one, it smells like an affordable fragrance, but it's a good fragrance nonetheless, you know. I mean, honestly, if you're looking for a dupe of that fragrance, get it. If not, I don't know, skip it, I don't know. For me, it's kind of, like I said, overly done, you know. Okay, so this next fragrance is called Odyssey. And this, honestly, I don't know if this one dupes anything, and I don't know what are the notes of this fragrance, but basically, to me, in my head, it's like tuberose, indolic jasmine, tuberose, you know. This is how it smells to me. This is a very heavy and heady white floral fragrance. White floral, and when I mean white floral, I mean a lot of tuberose. The tuberose here is, let's say, the tuberose used in a lot of vintage fragrances, you know, so it definitely has an old school vibe to it, which if you enjoy those DNAs, you will enjoy this one. If you enjoy only the more modern tuberose scent, or the bubblegummy like tuberose, you will not enjoy this fragrance. Tuberose, the one that's like slightly indolic, with a little bit of indolic jasmine as well, with vanilla, that adds the softest sweet creamy touch, but only a hint, you know, not a lot. The tuberose is still the one that overpowers everything, and with something green in the background. So yes, this is your typical very dense, very full, very rich, heavy statement white floral fragrance, slightly indolic as well. Honestly, I feel like if you're the kind of woman that appreciates Organza by Givenchy, you will like this fragrance. So if you've tried Organza and it was your vibe, then definitely check out this one as well. You will like it. I don't think they're dupes, but I would say the tuberose, it's let's just say it has a similar effect, you know, to the nose. So yes, personally for me it's a little bit too much, it's a little bit too strong, too mature, too tuberose-like smelling, you know, without anything to, how to say, like, to balance it, you know, without any spices, without any oud, without any, I don't know, without anything to basically give it a slightly darker, deeper base, you know, because this is your light, bright, full, rich white floral scent that I'm not the biggest fan of, honestly. And for whatever reason, when I smell this fragrance, I also get Lily of the Valley. Again, guys, I don't know the notes, I have not looked them up. I will insert them somewhere over here, but in a few words, this is your strong, mature, heady, heavy tuberose with a dash of Lily of the Valley, some indolic vibes there, something very green-like in the background, and a little bit of creamy, sweet vanilla, but in a non-gourmand way. So yes, if that sounds like something you will enjoy, check it out. If not, definitely skip, because it's not a safe blend buy and it's a very strong fragrance. So yes, let's move on to the next one. Okay, so when it comes to this next fragrance, guys, I had like a love-hate relationship with it. First few times I've tried it, honestly, I did not like it. I felt like the opening was very nice, but then basically, like, as it started to develop on my skin, the fragrance went into all these different directions. At a certain point, it smelled like car scent to me, you know, like those little things that you put in your car to scent your car. Yeah, not my vibe. Then I felt like it smelled like something that's very artificial. Now that I've tried it again after many months, because I've had these samples from Armaf more than 6 to 8 months, if I'm not mistaken, so I've had them for a very long time, you know. This next fragrance is called Clubhouse for women. I know there's one for men, and I know there are a lot of different fragrances in this sort of bottle shape and color. No, this is the one for women. And this one, it is compared to a fragrance from YSL, Manifesto, not the original Manifesto, offline curve Manifesto d'Elixir or something. I don't remember exactly how that one is called. And no, I have not tried that one, so I cannot compare it to that fragrance. I will only share my thoughts about how this one smells on its own. Okay, so this fragrance, honestly, I really do like it now. Yes, oh my god, this is basically, the opening to my nose has this like wow effect. It's very rich, sticky, sweet fruity nuances, with a lot of sweet citruses in the mix, like sweet orange, sweet mandarin orange, with something like nutty in the background. So you have some nuttiness in the scent. You have a lot of, basically this one has a lot of density to it. Without being dark, this is not a dark fragrance, but it's very like rich and round. So it has this like nutty, ambery vibe, and with vanilla and some slight powdery nuances that are in the background. To me, this is a very flirty fragrance, like playful, flirty, feminine, you know, like slightly sweet. Yeah, I love the opening of this one. Like I said, it's nutty, it's full, it's very rich. It has to have some ambery accords there. I can smell a lot of vanilla. The vanilla, it's like your rich, dense, and slightly resiny type of vanilla. It's not the vanilla essence or like the vanilla, like basically the vanilla that you use in cakes or something, you know. It doesn't have that vibe. It's not a gourmand vanilla, but I feel like it's really interesting because this one has a lot of weight to it. This is how you say it. Like it has a lot of density to it as well. It's very full, it's very rich, it has a lot of nuances. Like I said, in the opening you have this like really dense, sticky, sweet, fruity vibe. Not red fruits, not dark fruits. I would say a little bit of date. It smells a little bit like dates to me, and it smells like a very sweet mandarin orange, a very sweet orange, you know. This is in the front. In the back you have a beautiful rich dense base that supports the scent. So this is not your, let's just say, plain vanilla fragrance. This has quite a lot of character to it. I feel like I said, this is the flirty, playful sort of fragrance. If you like Eternia Woman from Armaf, if you like Poison Girl by Dior, I'm sure you will like this fragrance as well. The only thing is, keep in mind, give this one a little bit of time to develop and to macerate to macerate basically, because when I first got the sample, I don't know if the bottle was like freshly opened or whatever, but I don't know, I didn't have a very good experience with it, honestly. And it smelled, like I said, at a certain point it smelled like a car scent, you know. Not the most attractive scent, you know, but now it smells really delicious. The opening part definitely is the part that has the wow effect. When you smell it in the opening, you might smell it and be like, oh my god, what is this? This smells amazing, you know. This definitely has a designer DNA, like that very like sexy nighttime going out sort of DNA, you know. Now keep in mind, as you are wearing this fragrance, the wow part that you had in the opening moves into the background, and in the front you start to have this like soft, airy, dry, woody, musky vibe. That, I guess, it might come from the cashmeran used here. How to say, you start to lose the stickiness and the richness of the fragrance. It starts to get a little bit thinner. Okay, so this next fragrance is called Seduction for women. The bottle is very pretty. It has like a snake-like print on it, if I remember correctly. And I think this is also like from their more premium line, if they have something like this. I don't know. Basically, the price of this one is much higher than the price of all the other ones. At least where I can find it. I don't know about where you live. Honestly, it smells nice, but it smells simple. It smells like it could be the scent of like a room scent. You know, it smells like it could be like a laundry detergent perfume. It smells like it could be like, basically it smells like it could be the scent of a cleaning product, a home scent, I don't know, like a body lotion. It smells very It smells like nothing, basically. It smells nice, don't get me wrong. It doesn't smell bad, like bad per se, like it has something wrong with it. But it's just too simple, you know? It's too simple, it's too mainstream. It tells me nothing, honestly. I don't know, like there are so many other more beautiful fragrances in the whole entire world. There are so many other fragrances that have something to them, you know. Like I said, this one doesn't tell me anything besides the fact that it could be your house scent. You basically, if you get this one, you could wear it yourself. Let's just say you could spray it on your curtains, you could spray it in your closet, you could spray your clothes after washing or drying them, you know. It's too basic, honestly, and I know a lot of people get triggered when I use the word basic, but these are just my thoughts. To me, it smells a little bit too basic. It smells like, how to say, like if I were to smell this fragrance, next second I would forget it, you know. It's not a fragrance that's memorable, you know. It's not a fragrance, and it's not even about the fact that the notes are quite simple. By the way, I think this basically how this one smells. Okay, let me actually tell you how this one smells. So it's like citrusy, slightly peppery, but like pink pepper sort of vibe. Fresh, it has a freshness to it, and it's floral. Yeah, floral with some soft, like sweet, citrusy, lemony vibes, and a little bit of pink pepper to give that like nose tingling peppery touch to the scent, to give it a little bit of kick, and something in the base that gives the base a little bit of density, but it's still, this is a floral scent, citrusy floral scent, or like florally citrusy scent, you know, with soft, spicy, peppery nuances. It's nice, but it's nothing like memorable, you know. I mean, generally the only problem that I see with this fragrance is that it smells like every other fragrance on the market, you know. Like, I mean, like I said, it doesn't smell bad per se, but it's not a fragrance that I'm like, wow, this is something new, or like this is something worth smelling, you know. If you like floral fragrances, I think there are a lot of other more beautiful floral fragrances that you could try. For instance, Fakhar by Lattafa, Andaleeb, Ameerat Arab, a lot of other more beautiful soft floral fragrances. This is like a bright pink rose, very light, very bright, very like almost a little bit fresh as well, with some white florals in the background, with some, like I said, slightly sweet, lemony, citrusy nuances, and some peppery vibes. That's it. Nothing more, nothing less. Okay, so this next fragrance is called Seduction for Man. Yeah, again, right from, I can smell it as I'm doing this motion. This is a designer inspired by fragrance. This, by the way, none of the fragrances that I've showed today have a Middle Eastern vibe to them. They're all inspirations of designer fragrances for sure. Yeah, see, this reminds me, you know what this reminds me of? A little bit of Fakhar for Men by Lattafa, but a Najdia. Yeah, a Najdia, like if you were to mix those two together. But keep in mind, my knowledge when it comes to men's fragrances is much more limited than my knowledge when it comes to unisex fragrances and feminine fragrances, you know. So bear with me. Maybe, I don't know, like I don't know if this one dupes anything or what it dupes. If I see it on Fragrantica, I will insert somewhere over here what the fragrance dupes or anything. But this one basically is very fresh, and by very fresh I mean like shower gel sort of freshness. Blue, slightly aquatic, a little bit salty, like salty marine sort of vibe. Yes, this one basically it's like your aquatic, blue, fresh, marine sort of fragrance. Citruses, honestly I don't get many citruses, like, no, this is a blue, fresh aquatic scent with some saltiness in the background. So it's not just sweet, but it has a sweetness to it as well. I mean, this one, you know what, this one, again, I feel like this is a DNA that's been like duped and duped again and again. But I mean, honestly, it smells nice, you know, it smells like you're a clean man. It smells nothing unique, but if you're looking for a really good basic fragrance, why not check out this one? Scent-wise, I feel like you cannot go wrong with this one. I feel like this, if you are looking for a fragrance that's more for warmer weather, let's say you live somewhere where you have warm temperatures all year round, or you're looking for something for summertime or springtime, I feel like this could be an option that you could take into account. Keep in mind it's not very unique, but what I like is that it doesn't smell ultra artificial. A lot of fragrances within this DNA, like this, like fresh, blue, aquatic, marine, slightly salty, slightly sweet DNA. I feel like some of them smell ultra artificial and bothering to my nose. This one is actually pretty good. I mean, so the next fragrance is a fragrance that I got a lot of questions on, and I just finally get to share my thoughts on it. This fragrance is called Italiano Vivo, and let me just tell you from the start, it has absolutely nothing to do with Italiano Donna. They are two very different fragrances. Italiano Donna is a sweet, warm, white floral scent with some vanillic tonka bean nuances. This one, on the other hand, is a floral fragrance, but like a cold, crisp floral fragrance. So right from the start, this is the typical floral smelling fragrance. You have here like a light, bright and airy pink rose mixed with some soft peony touches. So you have right from the start this very like feminine, soft, floral-like aura. You have in the background, you have a crisp, clean white musk, but like crisp, like very crisp, clean sort of white musk. Also some powdery nuances, but not the makeup-y sort of powdery nuances, just like some powdery nuances. And also you have some slight peppery, fruity nuances. So yeah, it's slightly fruity, very musky, slightly powdery, floral, fruity, like the sort of fruitiness you have in here. Red fruit sort of sweetness, you know, so it has a very clean undertone in the background. Nothing too sweet, nothing too sugary, nothing tropical, nothing, how to say, dark, you know, like red fruit sort of sweetness. And by the way, if I'm not mistaken, I think this one dupes a fragrance from Lancome, which is, I forgot how it's called, but basically this one. I mean, they definitely have similar vibes, but it's not like a one-on-one dupe, you know, so don't buy this one looking for a one-on-one dupe of that one. But if you like fragrances within the same vibe as that one, within the same scent family, then this one, it's worth checking it out. But basically, to me, again, you know, the whole clean girl aesthetic, this is something that I would picture on those girls, you know, who like sleek bands, you know, like minimal makeup, like very like neutral outfits or very like girly outfits, you know, and you want something that's very soft and clean. Like if you're a very soft woman in general, if you have a very soft aura around you, this is the kind of fragrance I think you would enjoy. Keep in mind it's slightly sharp in the opening, but if you give this one a few minutes, it will bloom, you know, it will shine and it will open up very beautifully. So yes guys, those were all the fragrances that I wanted to talk about today. Thank you so much for watching. If you've tried any of the fragrances, please don't forget to share your experience with the fragrance down below. I would appreciate it a lot. If you enjoyed the video, please don't forget to like it. If you want to follow me on Instagram, you can follow me over here. If you want to tell me anything again, please put it down below and I promise that I will get back to you, even though it might take me a few weeks. Let's just see, sometimes few days, a week, 2 weeks, but I promise I will get back to you. So yes, thank you so much for watching guys. I'm sending you lots of love, lots of hugs, lots of positive energy, and I want to wish you an amazing day wherever you are. Bye. Mwah.